Hey folks, I'm Tina Hui with Follow the Coin. We are the homepage of digital currency. Welcome to this snippet of BITNEWS. We've got some military and regulatory action going on with Bitcoin, and unfortunately, we have to report that the Bitcoin price has dropped to $400 in USD. So let's dig in a bit and see what's been cooking. Earlier this week, officials from the U.S. Special Operations Command met with American business executives and Bitcoin community leaders on Monday in Tampa, Florida, to discuss Bitcoin. According to CNBC, the topic of concern was Bitcoin's influence in illicit finance, which is a priority for the U.S. military as it moves to learn and understand how Bitcoin could be used in funding anti-American forces and operations. The chief concern is whether it can take actions to reduce this activity as it would pose a threat to national security. The virtual currency workshop, as it was called, was moreover a learning opportunity for special ops forces, which clarified any misunderstandings and misconceptions about Bitcoin and digital currencies being catalysts for terrorism and illicit activity. Bitcoin Foundation's Global Policy Counsel Jim Harper attended the meeting with a message that Bitcoin runs on a transparent ledger system and that the industry is more than a magic cloak for evil behavior. Harper told CoinDesk that the military has an interest in knowing everything it can about how the world works, and Bitcoin is a big part of how the world is going to work, which is definitely something that can't be argued anymore by governments around the world. The blockchain technology does seem like it is here to stay. Understanding what Bitcoin and the technology behind it is capable of and enables is indeed critical. A group called Business Executives for National Security, or BENS, a nonprofit organization of American business leaders that lend their experience and insight to threat reduction initiatives, led the educational meeting, and members of BENS included such thought leaders as Amazon's Jeff Bezos, former AIG CEO Hank Greenberg, and David Koch of Koch Industries. The Bitcoin community comprised between 1/3 and a handful of all present, according to Harper, who suggested that the event was a success as an educational one. By the day's end, the gathered attendees had begun to view Bitcoin more favorably. In statements to CNBC, Harper acknowledged the possibility of backlash from members of the Bitcoin community following the news of the meeting. He says the Bitcoin community doesn't necessarily endorse U.S. foreign policy. Harper is a firm believer that Bitcoin Foundation's role should be to familiarize law enforcement and the military with Bitcoin. And playing devil's advocate a bit here, it's probably a good idea in the long term and for the future of digital currencies and the technology. If Bitcoin and the blockchain technology is here to stay as everyone hopes, cooperation, collaboration, and compromise do need to be made by governments, banks, communities, and the businesses that support Bitcoin. Gridlock never does anyone any good, folks. Despite anyone's arguments, this is the reality. Growth means needing to mature the market, and regulations mean the technology and people are safe while innovation stays empowered. As long as the two go hand in hand and both sides of the coin are respected, it's probably going to be a favorable outcome that supports both Bitcoin and the government's interests in keeping everybody, especially the public, safe. And more importantly, Bitcoin moving forward. During this meeting, there were some concerns around ISIS. According to CoinDesk, the meeting comes at a time when there has been much discussion about whether Bitcoin and digital currency could be used to help radical and extremist organizations gain access to financial services. In July, Sky News reported that the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, ISIS, had proposed using Bitcoin to fund global jihad efforts, citing services like Dark Wallet as ways to make transactions and payments untraceable. Fortunately, this report was later debunked. Harper said none of the military representatives present at the event offered specific intelligence that ISIS uses Bitcoin and that the amount of discourse focused on the terror group was negligible. Phew. But it is important amidst discussions to keep a few things in mind. Bitcoin is probably arguably the world's first global and international currency. It is accessible to any person interested in Bitcoin in any country. This is what makes Bitcoin a fascination to so many people across the globe and potentially powerful to those who hold the lion's share of Bitcoin and or access and comprehension of the blockchain technology in the future, or a sizable enough amount to do some damage. And let's not forget the infamous saying from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Now there's some food for thought as to why the government is definitely concerned. Alright, that's it for this update. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.